Once upon a time, there was a family who lived in a modest house, but full of love. Marissa and Carlos, along with their two children, always managed to make do with what they had. It wasn't a life of luxury, but it was a happy life. However, like many families, they were surprised by difficult times. Bills began to pile up, work became scarce, and what once seemed manageable became an unbearable burden. Carlos, who had always been a hard-working man, found himself increasingly desperate while Marissa tried, unsuccessfully, to remain optimistic. Evenings that were once filled with happy conversations and children's laughter turned into long discussions about how to pay the next bill, how to put food on the table, how to salvage what was left of the life they had built. The walls of the house, once full of life, now seemed to echo the anguish and fear of what was to come. They were one step away from losing everything. On one of those dark nights, while his children were sleeping, Carlos sat at the table with his head in his hands, lost in dark thoughts. "What are we going to do?" he whispered to himself, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. It was then that he heard something he didn't expect. It wasn't a loud voice, nor a sound he could clearly identify, but a deep sense of calm enveloped him. Something in his mind whispered, "You are not alone. There is a way out." In the following days, Carlos began to feel a change. Although the problems were still there, a small flame of hope was lit in his heart. Marissa also noticed that, although the situation was the same, Carlos seemed more determined, more confident. It was then that, guided by this new sense of direction, he had an idea. It was something simple, but it could make a difference. He started looking for temporary jobs, small odd jobs that, together, could help cover the most urgent expenses. At the same time, Marissa started selling homemade sweets, something she always loved doing, but never thought she could help financially. To her surprise, neighbors started ordering, and soon she was selling to the entire community. The children also understood the situation and, in their own way, helped the family save where they could. The situation didn't improve overnight, but over time, the small victories started to add up. The family managed to avoid losing their home and, despite all the difficulties, they remained together, more united than ever. With each step, Carlos felt that voice in his mind, that presence that he couldn't see but felt, was guiding his steps. It was as if an angel was there, whispering words of encouragement, reminding him that there is always a solution, even in the most difficult times. And so, little by little, with a lot of work, faith, and the unexpected help of that invisible presence, the family managed to get back on its feet. It wasn't easy, but in the end, they learned that even in the worst storms, hope can be the light that guides them back to the right path.